Do we really have to do this?
Absolutely.
It's just insane.
Well, it's mentally irregular, but a deal's a deal.
Shouldn't we have like helmets or like boxing hats, whatever they
No,
wear?
CTE's not a real thing. That's just something liberal people say.
I don't think that's accurate. Why are we covered in oil?
Well, I have a lot of petroleum products in my portfolio trying to create scarcity. Look at boxing ring.
I just don't remember putting it on. I still don't think this is a good idea. You just had heart surgery, and I'm built like a Simpsons character.
I'm cleared for physical activity. Besides, we both need to get back in shape. It'll be our thing. This could be our new thing. It'll be the thing that we do together.
Back in shape? I need to look over my contract. You want to ring the bell, Apollo?
I was gonna ring the bell, but that's racist, which we talked about. But you ready?
Yeah.
Ding, ding. Okay. Come on, Stallion.
Take it easy.
Hunter S. Biden's
free-base-filled lungs are...
I can't hear what you're saying.
Hunter S. Biden's free-base-filled lungs are better than yours right now.
Oh, really? Well, I hope you're feeling good, because I'm about to smoke you like some cheese.
Yeah, I like cheese.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's why you do a
Cheese
little...
is like my favorite. It's why I'm getting very tired right now already. I'm really getting tired.
If you ate a little less cheese, did a little more oil boxing, probably wouldn't have this problem.
I don't know why we are oil boxing and why it's your thing.
Well, the good news is after this, we're gonna do jiu-jitsu in a shooting competition.
I gotta.
I see
Oh, my insides burn.
Yeah, well.
I don't know if I'm hungry or it's just the way I've lived my life. Oh. That's my bad knee.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. Yeah. You know what I can do?
I'm not here. What?
I'll just go to the GNC and pick up some Built Bars.
Oh.
Because they sell them everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's a better idea than fighting for the last one.
Shh. You save your breath. You know what I'll do is I'll have Gerald sit in first chair.
He's earned it.
Yeah.
He's earned it.
.com.
That's the sound of Monday. I mean, it's the sound of every day, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. I'm just going to hit it right off the top.
Okay,
Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If we're not here on YouTube and we don't tell you that we're not going to be here, you can switch on over to Rumble or Mug Club because it's Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we have a whole hour additional show on Mug Club. Today, what are we we're playing Hate Symbol? What is it, Token? Hate Symbol
Hate
or
speech or not?
Hate symbol or not?
Hate symbol or not? Oh, no way we could do that on YouTube now.
Going over my back tattoos?
Yes. We
see.
call them Dave stamps.
Yes. All tramped.
It took a lot in post to get rid of that in that little intro.
Well, they have arrows.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. I don't know, and it doesn't. It's not Japanese. It's not Korean. I don't even know what the writing is. What is it? Who sold you on that?
I'm not sure.
It's a QR code to Dave.
It's his own language.
It's a QR code it's like a treasure trail. QR code to the keys to his apartment.
Yeah.
Guy's own language of hate.
Yes.
Figure big.
Look, today is there's good news and there's bad news, but it's mostly good news. So as we are broadcasting this right now, what's going on over there, you guys? You guys acting like a bunch of chickens with your head. Is everything okay?
Everything good.
Are we
We're good.
streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming.
You just about murdered some. Did you see this?
Well, he almost killed that guy, but that's fine.
Well, we have a
necking.
new gentleman helping us with audio today,
Yeah.
and we're just so hopefully. What's his name there?
This is Casey.
Case, you doing
like
okay there?
Casey.
You doing okay there? Jose Canseco bet. Tell me you didn't pay money for this. Name that movie line. Comment below. Which brings me to my question of the day: what will be your first tweet when Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter is finalized? So the good news is this morning it was announced on Bloomberg, an unreliable source of news, because they were partially wrong, that Twitter accepted the offer from Elon Musk. Turns out they're still finalizing the deal, but there has been a tentative acceptance of the offer.
Yeah.
And that is, oh my gosh, I just hope Elon Musk buys Twitter. It's going to be so much fun. And this also comes as the EU is looking to clamp down now on what they view as hate speech and wanting this to be applied internationally on social media. So they're happening at the same time, and we'll get into that a little bit because some people will say, well, of course they need to moderate the internet from, things that are actual crimes, and we've talked about this, things that are actually illegal, death threats, doxing, Taylor Lorenz. But that's not actually what's happening in Europe. And I don't think it's coincidence that this is happening at the same time. So we'll keep you updated as it's occurring. Right now it is 10:22 Eastern, 9:22 Central, God's time. And we'll let you know what the stock price is as it. We have the edit bay working on live news as it develops. So hopefully we can break this with you because it would be a historical moment.
Yes.
And I just love. Well, we'll get to you've heard the term "screw you" money. That's a teaser. We'll get to more. Well, first off, Gerald A., how are you?
I am fantastic. It's a fantastic day.
Yeah, we're all excited.
I think he's going to buy it, and I think it's going to be accepted. They have no choice but to
Right.
accept it. So,
Yeah.
freedom returns. By the way, a lot of liberals are moving to Canada, and then they realized that Twitter's in Canada as well.
Right.
So.
It's sort of like when people used to talk about how, they're like, well, some, slaves escaped to Canada. I'm like, well, it depends on when they escaped to Canada, because at one point they would have said, great, more slaves.
Yeah, free.
Yes.
Yeah, keep on
Hey,
coming.
look, I found this slave, eh?
Run into Mexico to the arms of the cartel.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. You screwed both ways.
If nature's kind, they'll take him in as one of their own. And you hear him, you love him, at Landau Dave. He's going to be this Saturday in Green Bay by himself, but then him and I are in Colorado Springs, June 18th. You can get tickets at loudwithcrowder.com/tour. We had to add a second show, so loudwithcrowder.com/tour. You can see Dave's dates and our dates together. We have a big fall tour we'll be announcing. Dave, how are you?
Ahoy, good. How about you?
Good,
Both
thank you.
shows are almost sold out.
He didn't ask me how I was.
I didn't.
Well,
I was so
And I'm actually
elated.
doing really well today. So I was looking forward to the question because I would be able to say, good.
The one time.
Well, see?
Hey, Steven.
I care.
How are you?
I ate so much food last night that I weighed 4 pounds more this morning than yesterday morning.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Well, I consumed 3,800 calories in one sitting at dinner. Uh-huh. That's not including lunch and all the stuff I ate after dinner, because at that point I just stopped counting.
I see you've read my diet book.
Yes. It's written. It's tattooed across your back.
Don't worry, it's keto.
I need my decoder ring. All right, so we are going to spend most of today discussing Elon Musk, Twitter, the ins and outs, and also what is happening right now across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, these international platforms that you may not have heard this story from the EU. And what's the name of this? Because there's so many different bills they proposed.
DSA.
It's the DSA, the Digital Services Act, which is separate from their previous bill.
Screw you,
that they
Bill.
put forward. So this is their second attempt now to clamp down on it more, just as Elon Musk is close to purchasing Twitter.
Strange.
We'll say it that way.
Yeah. Before that, it's time to watch. I don't know if you know that liberals, they love to write some awful songs and perform them on TikTok, but very few have the balls, if I may, to be as honest and informative as this one.
Why, yes, I'm an evil left-wing sheeple snowflake working for the deep state, here to force your wives to get abortions and then leave you for transgender lesbians. Yes, it was us Antifa that stormed the Capitol to make you all look bad so that we can take your guns, spread communism, and blast Cardi B in your churches. And you're never gonna stop us, no, 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 you're never gonna stop us.
That'll stop you.
Yeah, it's the left has a remarkable ability to take someone fetching and make them unattractive.
Very.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like, your mom's hot, but I hate her.
Yes, yeah. I mean, and it's
Kids
wrong
are
to
saying.
hate,
Not hate.
but I hate her.
Right, hate her.
By the way, hey, Control Bay, can you put in here? I want to hit next the protester here. I think we before we go into Elon Musk, the Timberwolves Grizzlies.
Can we stop
protester.
lip syncing and pretending it's a talent?
Hey, don't you remember when Sarah Cooper did that? That was her special on Netflix. Was lip syncing Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
We had to sit and watch it on Mug Club,
We
and
were laughing so, me, you, and QB.
Talent.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I'm still laughing.
Yeah, well,
I'm literally laughing right now. As hard as I
QB
was.
was the only way it could handle it.
Yes.
Well.
That was the top thing in comedy last
EOL'd.
year. Yeah.
Was it really?
O-L-O-L.
Yeah, Sarah Cooper was lip sync. Remember, she would lip sync to Donald Trump.
Yes.
Donald Trump would, be some like, listen, shithole countries, and she would just go. It's like, what is it? What are you? You're a mime. You're a mime.
Yeah, you're essentially doing what Jerry Lewis did, mugging to records
Yes.
in the
With
50s.
with a paper mache hat.
Yes.
That's why he's still popular in France.
One of them.
Yeah, but see, this was better because it was an hour of it.
Yes, she's almost the American Michel Courtemanche.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but it sounds right.
There are a few French people like, oh, he's not fine leaf, something for me.
Oh, that was awful. I forgot that existed.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like, the whole idea of the popping and locking, is it sexual? It's just like
Didn't look like
the
it.
dance of sexuality in nature, right? The mating call.
Yeah.
But not the way she did it. It looked like it was some kind of like a chiropractic.
I thought she was trying to throw up.
Yeah, she looked like a bird.
Her and me both.
Trying to mama bird.
Yeah, like a mama bird getting ready to feed her babies. Like, and she had the crazy ponytail that looked like she belonged in a psych ward.
Yes.
You can't trust that ponytail. That's true.
It's funny, every time I see Nancy Pelosi speak, when she's like getting mad, she reminds me of a bird caught in an oil spill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That look.
Yeah. She really just wants alcohol rubbed on her.
Yeah. No, she's a teetotaler. She's a teetotaler.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Heroin, fine.
Yes.
Alcohol, not so much.
No.
Allegedly.
As long as
Allegedly.
it's in pill form and prescribed, she's like, it's fine.
She's the only person who still has her hands on Quaaludes, still has her liver spotted,
Last
gross
one.
hands on Quaaludes.
She has the last 6 in a safe. Just excited every day.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to getting to Elon Musk. But before that, this is something that's also I just want you guys to be in a good mood today.
Yeah.
This is a celebratory mood.
Yes.
Guess what? If this happens, guess who's coming back to Twitter?
Well, yes,
Guess.
but guess
Take
who's
one
also
guess.
out of a job? Probably Devin Nunes over at Truth Social.
Well, that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't really care because
Yeah, neither do I.
there's 5 million people waiting to get on a platform that could not have possibly predicted technology issues.
Right.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Devin, you're doing a bang up job.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
I'm
geez.
not anti. I'm just saying. Come on.
Yeah, Truth Social has had a rough rollout.
Yeah, it's been tough.
But you know what? They'll come back to Twitter and they'll take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a lot
They'll
of fun.
merge.
If we're lucky, some members of the board will, just
Quit.
jump out a window.
Well,
Figuratively.
it's a first story window,
Figuratively.
so it won't be productive.
Yeah, no, exactly. Into a bush.
Yeah.
Yes, and they'll be fine.
Guys, this
Maybe some thorns. though.
Yeah, maybe some thorns in a moat.
pricker bush.
So it's like a story and a half.
Yeah. Nothing
great
bad.
ending.
I mean, they can't get away with no punishment.
Yeah, no, like a hurt ankle.
Yes.
Sprained.
Right.
rolled.
Yeah.
Rolled ankle.
That's exactly. That's all figuratively is what we're hoping
Right.
for.
Yeah.
So, in other good news, though, and this is a lot of fun, we all hate animal rights activists. And I don't mean people who don't want you to be cruel to animals. I mean the PETA people.
Yeah,
The people who believe
of
in
course.
total animal liberation. Look into the
Right.
actual origin of PETA. They don't actually even believe that you should have pets. That was the original mantra of PETA.
Really?
They want humans and animals to live in an entirely even playing field, which would just be the worst because you'd have to execute all animals for committing assault, rape, public urination. I mean, they
true,
wouldn't
yeah.
last the end of the week.
I always loved the PETA ones that would throw paint on women.
Yeah.
Because it was like you see a fur coat and it's like, take that old white lady, then like a big black woman would walk by in a fur coat and they're like, hi, have a nice day. Looking sharp.
Wow, nice
Looking
coat.
nice. Yeah. What is that? Oh, is that
Is that mink?
is that baby seal? Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Great. Have a good one.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, were you gonna throw paint on my coat, little white girl?
Yeah, well, you gonna throw paint? Come on, throw a little paint on me.
I dare you.
I don't want to throw a little paint on me.
Go ahead.
Come on, let it happen.
This jacket was very expensive.
Let
I didn't buy it.
happen.
It was a gift.
So it's time for This Week in Protest Fails. All right, so it was Game 4 between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I already like where this is going because of the animal names.
It's
Yes.
the NBA. Love it.
It was temporarily interrupted, and this is not, the woman usually would be the star of the show because we want to mock her mercilessly, but
Right.
the security guard deserves some attention here, and we'll go back to him.
Fantastic.
But first, this was a woman dressed as a referee. It's not illegal like impersonating a police officer. I found out. I looked into it. Ran onto the court. Here you go. Watch what happens.
Finds the cutter. Beverly floats it.
It's over there in the
Towns
stands.
wrestles through.
Nope.
Jackson went down.
Oh,
Towns
so
took the
fast.
win. Loose ball. Beverly trying to save it. We have a fan who ran out on the
Oh,
floor.
she just wanted to meet her dad.
Now, here's the thing. That, good luck. Was she running out there with a 23andMe paternity
Yeah.
test? Here. They're passing them out.
Take one. I know it's one of yous.
And she doesn't. It's a 1 in, I don't know, 28 chance. I don't know how many people they have on both teams. I don't know how to add it up. But here's the thing. We're going to get to her plan in a second, which was thwarted. So that man is a hero. But we want to show you the reason it happened so quickly is this is the security guard doing his job. Watch.
It's a she.
Is it a she?
I think it's a she.
No.
I looked at the
Is a
video
security
on
guard a
this.
she?
I
Do we
am
know?
92% sure.
I think it's someone in a ball with a skullet, Gerald.
I don't know.
Can
somebody-
you guys
can we
comment
confirm
below?
this?
Let us know. Comment
It
below
looked like a
if it's
woman
a
to
she.
me.
I think
Sorry.
Gerald's an idiot.
It could be a man who looks like a woman.
It didn't look like a woman at all to me.
Well, it could be a female security guard,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's what I mean.
which could be.
Yeah, you repeat yourself.
Yeah.
So
The whole point of what I said.
watch
The flip flop.
watch the laser beam like beat that this security Z has on the protester. Look, here we go. We have it slowed down. Okay, here you go. You see in the stands right there. There
woman.
is it a woman? The security, look, before she even gets up. Is it a woman? It is a
It is a
woman.
woman.
It is a woman.
It is a woman. I apologize. Look at this.
Look at her go.
Boom.
Oh,
Boom.
takes her out.
Is it an African American woman?
It is.
is. Yep.
And she is.
Good for her.
It's like,
Dude,
That's for putting paint on my mink, bitch.
I love cow. Bow. Bow.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't punch her.
I know, right?
Well, she's totally allowed to, too.
Well, look, the WNBA players have to work part-time jobs. So, you
We
know.
have a
You're
fan
hired.
who ran out on the floor.
By the way, if anybody is planning on doing this again, I would not advise it. But if the person next to you goes from this to this,
Yeah,
that's
usually
a
it's
dead
a-
giveaway. The person next to her did that, like ready to record what she was doing.
Yeah.
and like quickly went up like this, and then the security guard and the person came out. I was like, "Come on,
Yeah, ready to record
Just
it.
gave it away.
Ready to record the ass kick.
You gotta be, like, slowly.
Security guard should have hit a double leg, though. Looks like she may have had like a Greco-Roman background because went for an
Yeah.
upper body clinch, no leg attacks. I appreciate it. But still, there could be accidental head-to-head contact, and you get accused of a headbutt like Johnny Depp Amber Heard. You don't need that. Just shoot a blast double, security guards. That's what we need to see. And by the way, if you want to see, there was almost no gap between, like they were running together. It was like
Yeah.
a lion chasing down a gazelle. This is very similar to, hats off to Pops Crowder, what happened at UNT. Did the same thing, just carried the protesters' momentum and continued tossing them. Do we have that clip?
9
Just ran off.
redirect.
He didn't even try and
Sort
come
of just
back.
redirected him.
Here's your momentum. Let
Can
it
I
happen.
see that again? Because I didn't see it happen when it happened right next to me. Look at that.
Great.
9.
That's hilarious.
It's like
This
it's
way.
like your kid's first bike ride. Just
Yeah. You're like, stay on it.
Nope.
You're going to get bruised. It's fine.
So it turns out, and there's stuff that people will never see actually aired live. There have been a few people who've kind of tussled with Pops Crowder, and then after feeling a little bit of jostling, they're like, couldn't you at least say you're sorry? And they just leave.
No, of course not.
They know. They felt so. It's like
Your
Beowulf.
kid's a big dude. I wouldn't mess with him.
They felt something they didn't want. So it turned out that this lady, the white lady who was tackled,
Yeah.
was an animal rights activist named Sarah Zimmel. Now, here's the thing.
Sasha.
Sasha?
Sasha.
I thought it was
Zimmel.
Sarah. I don't care. Let's call her Sarah because I don't want to give her credit. You don't want copycats, Gerald.
That's
true.
Did I just dox her?
Yes.
No, you just encourage copycats. You've made her famous. That's the only thing she gets out of this is what you just did.
Yes, because
You feel
nobody
good
could-
about what you just did?
Nobody could put Sarah and Sasha.
Now
Zimmel
she's in jail. Who's at home feeding her 37 cats?
together. Well,
Well, maybe one of her 19 possible dads.
That's true.
so sad.
But here's the thing. She had a very
they're
in-depth
not.
plan. This just shows how delusional leftists are. So let me take you through the step-by-step plan of this protester. Step one, okay? I believe we have some of the, yeah. Step one was, her plan was to run onto the court.
He wears a gun holster, bro.
Okay, it's new sound guy. It's okay.
That was,
Give him a
that
break.
was not the right one.
Well, that's fine. The
Step two.
The guy you just played's doing real well right
Yeah.
now.
Step two was to whistle to stop the play.
Okay.
Step three was to pretend to issue a technical foul. This is like an Ocean's 11 play. Ocean's 8, sorry. Oh, there we go. Step four, then eject the Timberwolves owner, Glenn Taylor, who was seated courtside, all of which was thwarted by a simple tackle. But I love that this woman thought she had 5 steps in her.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, look, this is the plan. How many times when we have gone and done protests or things like that, when we've showed up, you've heard me say, guys, we're only going to have a couple of seconds at this, so everyone have your camera. We're going to have to stick and move, get going.
Yep.
She's sitting there like, look, trust me, I'm going to A, run onto the court, then whistle, stop the play, which people will respect because I'm clearly the referee.
Right.
Look at the outfit. Then I will pretend to issue a technical foul, which everyone will respect, including the announcers who will not.
Because you're obviously an official.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I will eject the Timberwolves owner, Glenn Taylor, and of course the owner of the team. Like, oh, there's nothing I can do.
Well, that's
I guess I have to leave.
a
Nobody
crazy
would follow
person
that
ran
plan.
on the yeah.
Nobody would understand what she's doing. Like
It's like
what
a
is she-
streaker running
Yeah.
out and we're like, so we all get naked, right?
Yeah, that's well,
That's
that
the
makes
deal.
sense. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, it'd be like what was his name? Fan Man during the Holyfield Tyson fight. I believe that's what it was. During was it
What'd he do?
was it Holyfield Tyson? I don't know, or Lennox Lewis something. Or the Fan Man came in. Only if he came in and he was like, "All right, go back to your corners." And like, well, there's nothing we can do. It's clearly the referee. What did you think would happen?
This idiot couldn't get people to start the wave, let alone this.
Speaking of protest failures, this is a common theme. A man known as Win Bruce celebrated Earth Day by setting himself on fire on the steps of the Supreme Court. Here we go.
This part is slowed down because it was very short.
Oh my goodness.
I just thought it was Ghost Rider.
Is it?
Wow.
I'd feel bad if that wasn't self-induced.
Yeah.
Like, those screams would be horrifying if it weren't just a moron who lit
Yeah.
himself on fire.
That's terrible.
I wonder what he thought fire would feel like.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, this hurts.
Didn't they say not to burn stuff?
Ow.
I watched that Tiananmen Square thing and it seemed to like.
I don't know if you see how useless the Capitol Police are. Was he aiming a park? Was that a fire extinguisher? I don't think it was a fire
I think that was
extinguisher.
a parking
was.
cone.
He was just aiming a parking cone? Was he trying to blow on him? It's not working!
Wait. Yeah, that's just a normal parking cone.
What is he doing?
Oh, there's got to be something coming out of it, though. I thought I saw water. No.
Hey, you know what I think will stop global warming? Lighting my face on fire.
Well, here's the thing. Interesting that you should bring that up, Dave, because
did it work?
burning one human body, if you guys are trying to save the planet, of course, Earth Day, one human body being burnt creates up to 600 pounds of CO2. I'm looking at you, Hitler.
Oh man, the real culprit of global.
yeah, Captain Pollution.
Yeah, seriously. I tell you what, that's the worst, is his lack of respect. This was a world that we all had to live in. This has been Protest Fails.
It was mostly the Holocaust, though.
What?
Yeah. No, that was definitely
the Holocaust.
The killing of the
I mean, it
people
was
was
a
the worst.
It was a
thing.
component.
Yes.
The second
Two
was
things
the-
can be true.
The lack of respect for
Yeah.
the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two things can be true.
It's
Unbelievable.
What hurts the second most is a lack of respect.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I don't know what the official announcement is because this is happening as we are live, but I can say this: it's Musk's concerns about Twitter may soon be alleviated because they apparently this morning, and this came from Bloomberg and New York Times, have agreed on a deal to settle with Musk. It's a good day.
Yeah,
It's not about work. You can't give me a thing that works. All right. Okay, all right.
Went in my water.
Literally give the host.
I think you're doing
Not
it wrong.
one of these works.
I think you might be doing it wrong.
I don't even know what this is. Hold on a second. Give me one. Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
Give
Give me the beat. Give me the beat. Yeah.
Ready?
You did try to blow into a popper, so.
I did too, though. I didn't know what it was. You know, these were probably made in China.
Yeah, well, do you smell that?
Yeah.
They were.
That
Made
is
in
serious
China.
gunpowder
It
odor.
really is, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, they don't play around over there.
Just
Made in
wanted to celebrate. Now I have
Made in
mesothelioma.
China for American promotional events. That's a
that's
scary
good.
label.
Well, preferably with large masses of people.
Yeah, just
Also, you die after reading this.
right. Just
Oh, good.
filled with COVID.
Okay, so let me read this to you right now, and
do you think
you
it
let
got
me
here?
know, Token, if there are any updates that I've missed.
I was just going to give you one update.
Oh.
It was a guy, Pierre.
What?
What?
The security guard?
Come on, how could anybody
Pierre.
know?
I told you Gerald was an idiot. Admonish him.
Admonish.
No,
Admonish Gerald.
no.
Admonish
It
Gerald.
looked
Pierre has
Admonish him
breasts,
right now.
though. Pierre
Looked
does
like a
have
wo- I-
admonish.
no admonishment.
Yeah.
None.
Well,
Nine.
Those are the rules. We don't make them. We just call them.
You misgendered a hero.
Yes.
No, I didn't. It was very vague.
No, he
It
tackled.
had ponytail,
He tackled a bitch.
but he also looked like one.
I mean, he does have breasts.
Does he look like a bitch?
Does the security guard
Does the security guard look like a bitch?
I'm not a biologist.
I really am not. I couldn't say.
I don't know. I mean, he looks strong, like a strong bitch.
Yeah.
I blame. Here's the thing. I understand Gerald's, misconception there. I blame
Right.
every girl who comes back from those cruises with those crappy little beads in their hair.
I know.
They've ruined it for the rest of us.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And I only did it once. I
Yeah.
was in Cancun.
Well, when in Drug Lord City.
Yes, they were like, "Look, you have to do this and give us $80." I was like, "All right."
All right, fine. So Musk's, he of course made a deal for Twitter, and apparently this deal is happening. This is coming from New York Times. Twitter is nearing a deal to sell itself to Elon Musk with two people who have knowledge of the situation. They said an agreement could be announced as soon as Monday.
Yeah. That would be today.
And it also, by the way, should be noted. You had some notes on this here, Gerald.
Well, it was really interesting, right? So he put together $46.5 billion.
$46.5 billion for the purchase.
How the funding was actually going to break out, who was involved, and it was like every blue chip bank was supporting him except the two that were advising Twitter. So he literally went to every other bank and said, "Hey, you guys are cool. You guys over there? No, the guy's still advising Twitter." It's like buying stuff and then flipping.
Well, you've heard of
the bird
screw
at the
you
same
money.
time.
This is his money literally saying screw you.
Yeah,
So awesome.
it's the best way I've ever seen somebody play with money.
Yeah, who would have thought of that? He's like, let's get every bank except the ones that are already at Twitter. It's like, you don't even need to do that. I know.
By the way, don't you love that CNN's not talking about it at all?
Oh, no.
Right now, Brian Stelter is just sweating bullets.
Oh, yes.
He is sweating. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything. Just like when CNN said we want to focus more on news with the new president. He's like, I'm going to be fired.
First CNN Plus and now this.
Wait, they're not going to throttle conservatives? I'm going to lose everything. I'll have to compete on an even playing field? Oh, bother.
CNN Plus lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Bruce Jenner could hold a baby
later.
inside of her longer than this.
Bruce Jenner could pinch a baby between her legs like a thigh master for longer than that.
Just saying.
3 weeks, they were like, that's not even giving it a chance. They're like, there's no way this is going to
There's
work,
no way this is
at
gonna
all.
work at all.
The projections just say loss, please.
Literally.
Let's
as
pretend it
soon-
never happened.
Yeah. As soon as the Discovery people came in that were leading this, they were like, hey, can you send us the file? Oh, gosh.
We entered it into our QuickBooks software, and it
what?
just started popping up. Really?
It laughed
Really?
at us.
Yeah.
And then said, you forgot to say the magic word. I was like,
Alert.
why did Dennis
Alert.
Nedry program our computers?
This is crazy.
So, I don't know. Can someone give me an update as to where Twitter shares are right now? They jumped 5% on the news at the time we started this show.
Yeah.
Showing, again, that the market clearly is happy about the prospect of a Musk takeover. And by the way, it's not like it would jump because anyone over there on Wall Street would have any insider information. That's illegal, you know.
Yeah. It's up $1.55 today, but it's still $3.50 below his bid. So there's still skepticism out there that it's actually going to happen to some degree, but it's I'm pretty sure we're celebrating for the right reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some degree of skepticism.
You just gave me some doubt now. Don't give me doubt.
Don't be.
Let me
don't
have
doubt,
this.
Don't doubt.
So here's the thing.
Gerald, he was in a great mood.
Yeah.
He added a Snickers bar to his bid, so they took it.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
That's fair. He gets cranky when he's hungry. So if the deal is finalized, you can expect more gems like this from Elon Musk. On Friday, he dropped a tweet comparing Gates to the new pregnant man emoji. And it just said, in case you need to lose a boner fast. And then, obviously, expected action from the Twitter censors.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is what happened after they were sort of going back and forth because leaked text messages showed that Bill Gates tried to short Tesla stock.
Well, yeah, he's holding a short position still.
Right.
On Tesla stock.
For people who don't know, explain to people who don't understand finance.
Well, basically, you're betting that the stock is going to go down, and the more people that hold shorts on stuff like that, the worse it can get for you because it can just be a spiral.
A big part of me feels like that should be illegal.
That's what happened to AMC. That's what the whole thing was about AMC is that there were tons of people with shorts on
GameStop.
And GameStop was actually the lead. Sorry. So GameStop and then AMC as well was kind of the next thing. So that's what they did. They just bought it and cost people billions.
Yeah,
of dollars.
equities. A lot of people don't realize this. That equities have created more millionaires than anything throughout human history. They've created more, really sort of members of the upper middle class than anything that's ever existed. But if you look at the way the stock market has been framed in, and you look at the way that big banks obviously play a role in manipulating the never-ending bailouts that take place, it isn't the same as capitalism. And that also is something I understand the reason for it, but also it's gotten out of hand where people, it's a really tough pill to swallow that giant, powerful banks can bet on a company failing, and if enough of them bet on it failing, it can ultimately perhaps lead to it failing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if enough people do it, like if Carl Icahn comes out and takes a short position on your company, everybody's following him. Like people that understand his ability in this arena go, oh, he knows something.
Yeah.
We're going to do it too. We're going to sell the stock. We're going to get out.
Here's Twitter right now.
Up $1.
Okay,
so
that's
3%
up from
today.
the XI. I think I bought at 48 earlier.
Yeah, right before the show, I was like, "Hey, there's like $5 or $6 a share just sitting there for anybody to take." That
don't financially take any advice from.
Yeah, don't take any advice.
Of course not.
This is not Jim Cramer. He's going to show up tomorrow with a rubber mallet.
Yeah.
Sell.
Yeah.
Well, who is that for? I don't understand. Who is Jim Cramer for? You know that no one on Wall Street is actually watching him, and people at home are not watching him. Like, oh, I'm going to take his advice. I mean, it's just he's an asshole of the highest.
He doesn't really
order.
give the best advice either. That's what I like.
I think
about
he said
him.
to sell Twitter at 30. I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, I made a mistake.
Oh, geez.
Tell your family goodbye.
Yes.
Could have doubled your money had you not listened to me.
Look, you want financial advice? It's very simple.
So indoors.
I do work, not a sponsor of the show. I work with a guy. It's Matson Money. They manage. It's very simple. You invest in a diversified portfolio. You yield 10%. You double your money about every 10 years. The stock market wins out long term. You just have to be patient. Betting on stocks, there's the random walk theory. A monkey with a dartboard does just as well as these experts, these financial advisors, these hedge funds. It is a house of cards, and anyone who comes in and tells you they have a tip is lying. The market wins out over time. You just have to be disciplined. That's why sometimes people say, could you offer me some financial advice? No, I'm not going to do it.
Nope.
And I'm not going to talk about the crypto thing because, if you want to make it a part of your portfolio, fine. If you want to bet it all on one specific crypto, be prepared to lose your shirt. You have no idea what's going to happen. Now,
if you want the best advice, just watch Wolf of Wall Street and the Matthew McConaughey speech.
Jordan Belfort, I found out, reached out to me. Well, I guess he has a podcast.
Have you met Jordan?
Really? No.
He's cool. I've met Jordan.
I've heard that.
Yeah, you should talk to him.
I should talk to him.
He's actually, what he did was obviously a crime. It's why I went to jail.
Yes.
But when you actually hear him, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he's done his time.
I mean, he played it. And now it's pretty. He's a fascinating story.
Well, Mr. Belfort, just know I only just found out this last week how to check like Instagram messages. I didn't know there were messages on Instagram. I had no idea.
Yeah,
so I have a lot to go through.
Yeah.
I think you'd like him. He's an interesting guy.
By the way, speaking of companies that I do like, I don't think they're an IPO, so whatever. Doesn't really matter. People can't shit. But go to Built Bar. That's what you saw the oil boxing. Built.com. Use a promo code Crowder15. You get 15% off your next order. These things are delicious.
It's fantastic.
They have real chocolate. Are they sending the ones that I asked for?
We're gonna send some more. Yeah.
Because I eat these so often that it's the sponsor where I'm like, hey, I need them to send me more. I have them at night. I put them in the freezer. They're delicious. No one needs protein bars. I've told you about this before. Like, you can get but if you want something that sort of satisfies your sweet tooth, the craving, without all the crap, it's super tasty. That's why I eat them.
Portable and easy, right?
So. Well, that's not why. I eat them like a dessert. Sure, they're portable and easy, but I mean,
for other people.
Okay, fine.
Come on.
Fine.
I eat him in the parking lot when I don't go into the gym.
I got my protein.
Yeah. That's what he marks down in his log. Okay. Built.com, Crowder15 is the promo code. This stuff is delicious. I like the peanut butter fudge one. It's delicious. Okay.
Yeah, those are good.
Here is something else that I wanted to talk about. Okay. So Elon Musk, and we'll keep you abreast as this unfolds. In a press release, though, now, this was April 23rd. 2022. So April 23rd was Saturday?
2 days ago.
Yeah. Yep. The Council of the European Union announced a provisional agreement for the Digital Services Act, and a quote, the DSA follows the principle that what is illegal offline must also be illegal online. Now,
that sounds good enough, right?
No, it doesn't.
No?
So here's the problem. Right away, the red flag should go up when you hear, now, Council of Europe. That's enough. That's it. I don't even know if you're just like, isn't there a Council of Europe? No. Europe what? European Union? It doesn't matter. I say the words Europe in the context of control of the internet. Bad.
And council.
Yes. I've already given you all you need to know, but of course all the resources are available at louderwithcutter.com. So what is required here? And this is important. We've done Change My Minds about hate speech. We haven't done one in a long time. But it's something that sounds good to people who aren't paying attention. if you are paying attention, you will understand that this is yet another power grab. And it's a power grab after they've already achieved sort of an unrecognized power grab. And just recently, I was, again, subject to this by German law. This happens all the time. So what does this mean, though? It means that search engines and platforms with over 45 million active monthly users, they'll have to monitor for. Now, I'll read you what's in this bill that sounds good.
Right.
And then get to, oh, wait, red flag. Dissemination of illegal content. People hear like, well, like selling drugs or hitmen. Got it. Great. Okay. Adverse effects on fundamental rights. Getting a little more broad.
That's vague.
Especially when you're talking about Europe, because they don't really understand what
rights?
Fundamental rights are. And alienable is determined by God. They don't really recognize that when you look at their sort of the basis of common laws that exist there. Manipulations of democratic processes. We know what that is. Questioning elections.
Right.
For example. Freest and fairest ever.
Yep.
And then this is also included adverse effects on gender-based violence and minors. Whoa! Whoa, is that broad? Wait, adverse effects on it's not violence against people based on gender or violence against minors. It's adverse effects on gender-based violence and minors. That can mean what? And that's what this bill is about. That's what this proposal is about. It's about speech regarding those issues, not about actions.
Well, take out gender-based violence and it would make sense.
Right. It should just say violence against gender
It should
or
say
minors.
violence against minors.
Yes.
There you go.
That's a
And
given.
That would make sense.
We could all be on board with it.
But gender-based violence seems...
Well, adverse effects on gender-based violence. So
you-
I thought that the gender-based violence
would be
was
the
the
bad
adverse
thing.
effect.
Right,
Well,
but
yes.
How do you have an adverse effect on the
that's
violence?
my point. If it's... So we don't want to upset the violence?
Right.
Yes.
It's like we... So...
Numbers are high. Keep
So
the
we would
numbers
like
high.
to have positive effects
Yes.
on gender-based
Based violence and minors. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Positive
Okay.
effects will be given the right of way.
Yeah.
Adverse effects on gender-based violence.
No.
We're going to keep an eye on.
We know you guys.
We need you to make sure you're nice to kids and nice to people that hurt women because they're women.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the shiny wrapper for this is minors. And
Who wrote
also,
this?
It's also fraudulent products, right? So they're saying these are the things
Right.
we're really trying to protect. Don't pay attention
Here's the thing.
to the rest
It
of
already exists, and that's the problem. So let's look at the
But
laws.
that's a stupid sentence.
It's a stupid sentence, but not only that, let's look at the laws in Europe and hate speech. This is something I've talked with people about so many times. And I know that we have a lot of viewers, obviously, in Canada, in Europe, in Australia. You don't have freedom of speech. It doesn't exist. It's why I will likely never do a live show in Europe or Australia. Maybe Canada, I have no idea, because I could be hauled out in cuffs. They can arrest people for speech. Only in the United States is it protected, and that's why, again, you have to look at what would the Democrats push for. What would they have? People always, it's not left, right, it's not Democrats, it's not Republican. It is when the entire platform of the DNC, when the entire platform believes, for example, abortion up until and including birth, period. That's the platform. You may not like a lot of Republicans, guilty, not a huge fan. However, I am precluded from supporting the platform of Democrats on anything because of what the platform represents. Yeah. And if the platform had their way unfettered, you would have Europe. The platform of the Democrats today does not believe in freedom of speech. It does not believe in the First Amendment, just as it doesn't believe in the Second Amendment. The United States is the only place that actually has true freedom of speech enshrined into law. Now, let's look at Europe and their sort of broad hate speech laws, which, by the way, is illegal across. So like Denmark, for example, it criminalizes expressing and spreading racial hatred. Well, we've all seen how that can get away from you.
Well,
you just committed racial hatred by labeling that black guy a woman accidentally.
well, it looked like a woman.
And
Because of the braids.
That's true. I would be hauled away.
Denmarkians.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
In France, the press law of 1881, incitement to racial discrimination, hatred, or violence, these were illegal. In the UK, the POA there, 1988, Section 18, parentheses 1, I don't know exactly what this means. The resources are all available at subsection 1, loudwithcarter.com, criminalizes threatening, abusive, or insulting words or behavior. See how it gets
Insulting
more and more
words.
broad? Insulting words.
Half our conversations with liberals.
So here's the thing. People put in threatening. You go, well, of course, to commit an actual violent threat, that's a crime. Yeah. Abusive. People in their mind will go, well, abusive, okay, physical abuse. And you see that with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, where it's abusive. Did he hit you? He was verbally abusive. you hit him. That's actual abuse.
Yeah.
Or insulting words or behavior. What would insulting behavior is that what they mean? Insulting behavior is illegal in the UK.
Is it a roast? I mean, and is it a joke? I mean, that's the problem. Is a joke hate speech? That's the problem. Is it's all based in interpretation.
And this is the issue: is speech is you've heard now silence is violence. What they say in the United States, they've gone one step further
ever.
Because speech is considered violence in Europe by the laws. Speech is considered violence in Europe if they don't like what you have to say. This has happened across Europe for a very long time. So this just happened this weekend. This is what the 40th. Example of me being dinged for violating a version of some kind of this law in Germany. We have an overlay. This is where I said that there was a guy. We'll show the clip later. There's a special place. I think Dante created a circle in hell for guys like this. I'll show you the clip. You'll all agree and be guilty of hate speech too.
You're no David Hasselhoff in Germany, that's for sure.
Now this was under a different act, right? It was the Network Enforcement Act.
Yeah.
That already exists. So that criminalizes online dissemination of what they say propaganda, preparations against the state, treasonous forgery, public incitement, disturbing the public peace via threats, or then, of course, inciting hatred against a racial, ethnic, or national group. These are the subsets of the law. And again, you always think it sounds good until you get to that last portion. And guess what? They use that last portion to say, what? Get rid of the sitting president. Let me just give you some examples right here. Yeah. So the sitting president, right? They use for preparations against the state.
Wow.
That's the rule they use. Now, you don't live in a free society if you live in a society that has laws. And here's the thing, too, by the way. If you are linked, this is the problem with globalism, and this is why you're seeing a resurgence of nationalism that has nothing to do with ethno-nationalism. It means a nation state that you are proud of your nation, like Palestine wants to be. So the issue here is when you have globalism and you link arms with other countries that don't recognize the right to freedom of speech, you no longer have freedom of speech. So preparations against the state. Okay, Donald Trump gone. Now, internationally, do they apply the laws equally? That's the standard. Not do they have laws. Because the Ayatollah al-Khamenei is still there.
Yeah.
Hamas is still there. Well, inciting hatred against a racial, ethnic, or national group, I've got to imagine you could just comb through Hamas for, I don't know, a minute and find something with the Jews.
It's got to be there.
Yeah.
Read their charter. Start there. Just for crying out loud. Think about it. So you get rid of the president.
Right.
And you keep actual terrorists. This is the problem that you run into. It's not do you have laws, are they applied equally? And of course we know that there are plenty of people who have been removed for points of view. And sure, it's happened sometimes on the left. But very, very, when people say it happens on both the left and the right. Okay, let me ask you this. How many prominent liberal figures have been suspended or permanently removed from Twitter? The only one I can think of was, I think once it might have been Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar because they went after Jews too hard and then it was a temporary suspension. Right. But something equivalent to Donald Trump. Something equivalent, by the way, not only on users, but like the New York Post, Hunter Biden story.
Yeah.
Can you name it? Really, comment below. Comment below. Can you think, I'm actually thinking of this. I tried to think of this morning, and none came to mind. Examples of prominent liberals or liberal stories that would have harmed conservatives being treated that same way. The kind of story that would affect an election, for example. Right?
Any amount, what happened to Trump as far as the president's not being able to be on a media source to reach the people has never happened.
Right. Well, and across,
you know what else has never happened? A president who bypassed the media using social media.
Exactly. Yeah.
They couldn't have that.
No.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing I want to mention, this actually doesn't just include, like we think Facebook, we think Twitter when we think of these accounts, these platforms that'll have to manage this. No. They go a step further. They go to cloud storage and websites, which means anybody who says anything anywhere. Your ability to have a business, your ability to have your files online and not expect that the government will be going through those things. We've gotten notices from platforms recently in the last, month, 2 months that said, hey, be careful. By the way, if you do this, this is now something, and this is a private platform. This isn't open for the public.
We were removed from Shopify.
Yeah, we were removed from Shopify because we had the audacity to sell a shirt.
Yeah.
I've seen
which didn't say anything bad.
No, it didn't say
fruit. It was suggestive.
It was suggestive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't as bad as, the actual pro Che Guevara shirts The guy was a genocidal maniac who, by the way, also wanted to kill gays and blacks. Read up on Che Guevara. He was like Hitler without the selective charm. And I'm not saying that Hitler was some silver-tongued devil. I'm just saying that Che Guevara was even worse. If Che Guevara had the resources that Hitler did, he would be every bit as bad. And he was personally a sadist. So you can find the original Che Guevara shirts on there. It really does come down to a lack of education. These laws can get through when people are not paying attention. A lot of people ask, why don't you ever run for office? I could run, I could win. We know that, depending on where I would run. Wouldn't be able to do this. Wouldn't be able to reach the millions of people that we reach. It all starts with people just becoming aware. I cannot tell you how many people simply originally thought, well, yeah, hate speech is bad, until they looked into it just a little bit. Just a little bit. If you're not paying attention, it sounds good. Oh, okay, let's get rid of violent, gender-based violence. Then when you understand, just like Che Guevara, well, Che Guevara, okay, he was a revolutionary, I guess, of the people. Just do a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Called blacks insolent and lazy. Stood before, I believe it was the UN, and said, of course we're going to continue executing without trial. We've executed without trial, and we'll continue to do so, and there's nothing that you can do about it. By the way, Che Guevara was also a pussy. Was found with a fully loaded rifle that had never been fired in Bolivia, saying, I'm worth more to you alive than dead. Okay, those shirts are allowed. A shirt mocking Che Guevara, who executed gays as well.
You'd think they would love us making fun of this guy.
It just requires a little bit of education.
I've got a silver lining for you. You talked about hate speech, and we always say we'll define hate speech. Well, guess what? This actually has trusted flaggers as well. So they are going to have people out there that they trust to go out and flag this harmful content.
Hey, by the way, let's put this in context. Remember Jen Psaki was asked about the Joe Rogan thing?
Yeah.
And a lot of people try and say, oh, this is just, these extreme wings of the party are creating they're creating an issue out of this when it's not. Hey, maybe guys in the control room, get that podcast where Jen Psaki was talking about kids' gender. She, only a couple months ago, said, right, well, we're really glad to see what Spotify is doing. We would like to see more authoritative sources and more fact checkers. So keep in mind, that's the White House press correspondent. Okay? She's out there calling social media to do what Spotify is doing. So when people say it's a private company, is it really a private company, though, when it's wink, wink, Spotify, wink, wink, we really hope that you do the bidding that we want you to do, wink, wink, right? This is someone who has the ability and has the ear of the President of the United States. Everyone in that administration, by President I mean Kamala Harris, and former Vice President Joe Biden of the United States, can affect real change, and then only recently started crying on a podcast because, my God, some parents aren't letting their children transition at 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's no longer a fringe issue. The same people who say your children have the right to transition are the same people who say, Spotify, get rid of more Rogan. Hey, everybody else, take a page from Spotify. By the way, these international bills, these are from places that we support as liberals here in the United States because we're globalists. We want to be more like Europe. I think we're better than Europe. That's why we left. I don't want to be anything like Europe.
No. Well, and the government has officially become the mob. Hey, Spotify, sure would be a shame if you lost that pretty company of yours.
Yeah, be shame.
That's exactly what it is. It's the same shakedown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But at what point do you say it's no longer fringe? This is the phase of what happens with the left, is you say, hey, wait a second. Hey, wait a second. This is wrong. And they say, this isn't happening. No. Or you say, well, hold on a second. It seems like you're sexualizing children. No, that's not happening. That's a straw man. You're just trying to scare people. And then it goes, well, this isn't, well, it's only a very small select few. No one even cares about NAM. Yeah. And then they end up saying, well, it's happening. And so how does it affect you? And then it ends up being, if you don't support it, you're a bigot. So we start with, it's not happening, gaslighting, and then, well, it's just a small percentage of people. And then finally we end up with, if you don't support the bill in Florida that prevents sex being taught to kids, kindergarten through 12. And you know what, let me just answer this, because this is something that, by the way, could be banned in the UK, in Europe, just to be clear under this bill. The kind of what they referred to as don't say gay bill in Florida, which was don't offer hypersexualized curriculum to children K through 3. That's the kind of thing, the kind of speech that Governor DeSantis and the majority of Floridians support and believe could be banned under these new international agreements and acts. And these are agreements that the current Democratic Party supports. It is no longer a fringe issue. I just hope that people are aware of this when they always try and say, oh, the trans thing, who that affects like 2%. No, it doesn't affect 2%. It affects everybody when there's compelled speech.
Yeah. And if you think it's not coming, it is coming. Given, do you have an update for us?
Well, of course,
I found the Saki video.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, of course, it affects you. It affects 100% because if you don't say the right thing, you can lose your job, your livelihood, everything that you've worked for, based on the fact that you go, I don't think you should be able to mutilate a child.
Right.
Right.
Sorry, that's. I don't understand why that's such an extreme opinion.
Right. Well, this is what happened. We can show you the sequence on our show. You can go back to 2014, 2015. We had transgender individuals on the show who said, of course, I'm never talking about transitioning children. That's child abuse. These were transgenders who were on the show. By the way, we had one argue with a lesbian on the show. There was a lesbian and a transgender arguing about this in the LGBTQAIP. I think in 2015, the transgender saying, this is, of course, this is a fallacy. No one is talking about children. That's child abuse. These same people now are saying, how can you not allow your child to transition? You're a bigot. And this is reflected by the people in the highest offices in the land. Now that we have it, here you go. Here's Jen Psaki getting teary-eyed about the idea of children not making decisions that could affect their sex life forever.
Wedge issue and an attempt to win a culture war. And they're doing that in a way that is harsh and cruel to a community of kids, especially. I'm like going to get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But
Unbelievable.
But it's like kids who are bullied, and like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families. And you look at some of these laws in these states, and it is going after parents who are in loving relationships, who have kids. It's completely outrageous. But it is a wedge issue. Sorry. This is an issue that makes me completely crazy. But it is
it's
an
the issue
that is a political wedge issue. It is not a reflection of where the country is.
It is absolutely a reflection of how disconnected you are from the country. Let me give you an example right now. I'm going to say something that under this new act would probably be illegal in Europe. Germany, have your ban button ready. By the way, you don't get a say in anything because you're responsible for how many world wars now? All of them?
Yeah.
Don't care.
Oops.
You're talking about 60, 70. It's not all that long in the realm of human history. We're still keeping our eye on you. I will say this. When they say, well, look, does the curriculum ban people from discussing heterosexual marriage with children? No, it also doesn't ban discussing your personal relationships. It's just inappropriate. However, I would argue, it's more appropriate to discuss heterosexual relationships with children than same-sex relationships and marriage. Why? Because it doesn't require much of an explanation. Is this an argument that you really want to make? The vast majority of relationships since the beginning of time have been heterosexual relationships. That is, I dare say, normal, meaning the norm, meaning it is the most likely to occur. It's not that hard to explain to a child. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, boy and girl get married, have babies. And then if you want to get into the 1.5% who are two dudes, look, it's more confusing because there's more explanation. For the same reason you probably wouldn't teach kids about child brides or arranged marriages. And by the way, I'm not saying that arranged marriages are necessarily morally wrong. I don't like them. But my point is, of course you wouldn't need to. People act as though there's an equivalency. There's not. When something is far outside the realm of average, it requires more explaining. Why? Because the vast majority of kids there understand that men and women go together and can make babies. So it's not as big of a deal to say, my wife for a man, or my husband for a woman, as it is for a man to say, my husband. Because most kids are going to go, what was that?
Well, it's the same as when you get into middle school, you don't cover every single fetish and every single thing that happens either. It's like you're young, you don't understand it, fine. If parents want to explain that to a kid, that's fine too. Like, I don't really care, but it's like, you're not in middle school going like, all right, now this is bondage. This guy, he's powerful in his day job, but he likes to be humiliated. She stomps on him with these heels.
Yes.
Like, it's not like that,
That was taught to me in high school, but in the janitor closet.
Well, yes. Did you know Willie?
Yep. He is doing a long sentence.
Oh, yeah. I believe it's 3 life terms, which is odd because he didn't kill anybody.
No,
just their spirit.
Yeah, all of them.
But yeah, if honestly, like, if my son asks me, which he never has, like, do people have 2 moms? I'm just going to go like, yeah, some do. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that's just my own personal opinion.
That's all you
And that's it. And, that's fine. But it's like, but you made a good point to me a little while ago, which was I didn't know my teacher's first name.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't know who my teachers were married to. I didn't know any of that stuff. In elementary school, I don't think it's necessary. I'm not saying that they can't find out, they can't say anything, but it's like, I don't see what that has to do with the curriculum.
I once saw one of my first or second grade teachers at, by the way, Canadians, you can comment below, Harvey's. I don't know if it still exists in Canada. It was like a burger franchise. Not very good. And I once saw, I believe her name was Madame Alouf, I had her in kindergarten in the second grade, and I saw her at Harvey's, and I was like, oh look, it's it's like seeing an animal in its natural habitat when you see a teacher. I was like, okay, Madame Alouf, and she, you know what she did? She went. That was it. It was like, this is it. This is not where we interact.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Coney Island when I was a kid, same thing. I saw my teacher and I didn't understand it. I was like, what? Like, I thought she just goes into the closet until we come back the next day. I was so confused.
Just go into a cocoon.
Yeah.
That's the problem, Dave.
Well, no, but
a lot of them are coming out of the closet in the classroom.
But that's the thing is like you see them in their natural habitat. Yeah. It's weird.
That is not the purview of a school to teach my child about sex at age 5.
And my point is everything that we just said, which is a response to what teachers are already doing, is considered hate speech to the left. You just saw it with Jen Psaki. That's the issue. If someone who has control of your children for 8 hours a day wants to indoctrinate them in a way which is very, very new to keep in mind. There have been gay people since the beginning of time, but trying to shove the LGBTQ on all children and Black Lives Matter. And by the way, we also have some interesting polling data. We'll talk about this tomorrow, that Gen X is the least racist, and now Zoomers, Generation Z are the most racist since the oldest generation. So it skipped a few generations, and now racism is alive again. Told you can go back to 2015 where I was saying I think you're going to see more racists than ever in my lifetime because this is a divide and conquer from the left. But what can happen is they can indoctrinate your kids with LGBTQ, AAIP. They can indoctrinate your kids with Black Lives Matter and white privilege and these white guilt tests, and your response is labeled hate speech. Just like you can go out and create new laws that are in violation of your state constitution. Pennsylvania, you can create mass mail-in voting, which, by the way, ironically isn't allowed in most of Europe, but here in the United States, completely unprecedented. That can be made into policy, and then if you come out and speak against it, even if you're the sitting president, you are removed. This is how you silence the response. That's what's insane. It's like having 2 lawyers in a court and no one has the ability to cross-examine. And they are moving because they don't like what's happening with the Elon Musks of the world. They don't like what's happening with Rumble. Like I said, if all of you left YouTube and went to Rumble, nothing would make me happier. You can go watch us on Rumble right now live, but many of you don't. You're still here on YouTube because they have a ton of resources. So let me give you some more examples of hate speech, and then we'll get to STI Awareness Month. So in the UK, a guy was jailed and charged with hate speech for singing Kung Fu Fighting.
Which rendition? Which one?
I don't care.
Or,
I mean, he was really bad at singing.
Really bad.
Well,
Really bad.
Everybody's a critic, Dave.
They should do that in Detroit for everyone who karaoke's Journey.
Oh, born and raised in South Detroit, just grab him. No,
stop it. Stop it.
Journey's not even from Detroit. Why is this your anthem?
And by the way, no Seeger on the list. Not allowed.
No.
I like Seeger, but not out of your mouth.
Not in Detroit. Recent trial in Finland attempted to convict a Finnish MP and a bishop of hate speech for quoting the Bible.
What?
For quoting the Bible. So I'm just giving you some examples, and we have many more.
What did they think they were going to use?
Yeah, what is like this bishop was there and he was speaking, and the guy's like, all right, where's this going? A Bible, there's a twist.
What? He's not reading Harry Potter up there?
I'm confused. But I would also arrest him for Harry Potter because that J.K. Rowling's a TERF.
Yes, I hear.
I learned this term last week also, but now I live by it. And by the way, speaking of it, I stand by my statement that there's a special place in hell for this guy, Germany.
So let's go into what POCD actually is. This is a subset of OCD. This is where somebody with OCD may have unwanted, harmful, or sexual thoughts about children. This often results in panic, anxiety, distress, even depression. People living with POCD have no intentions of harming a child, yet they are tormented with the thoughts of possibly doing so.
Oh, you know what that wall would look nice with? His brains all over.
Figuratively.
Figuratively, his brains
figuratively.
Figuratively,
like
yes.
that.
Figuratively.
Well, look, and by the way, smash the like button if you can't stand that guy. They're just tormented. This is what happens right there.
Why would you allow... Sorry.
Yeah, they're tormented is what's going on. The poor guy is tormented. They're tormented with thoughts that they don't want to act on.
Fellow.
Hey, how about this? I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a thought about a sexual thought about children? Bye. You come back, Bullet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, your brain doesn't work for a society.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were sexually abused? Don't care.
Yeah. He said, they have no desire to actually do anything with children. Yeah, they typically don't until they do.
Right.
Until they do. I can't trust that they will stay in that. I don't ever want to act on this category.
Right.
They're going to.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If you look at the rehabilitation rate, it's very low. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If not people who are sexually attracted to children, are there any issues for that man, for what will be the mainstream Democratic platform, just so you know, within 5 years? Guarantee it, come back here. We're 2022. Just like I referenced 2014, 2015. Mark it. It will be the mainstream platform. I'm not saying it'll be the mainstream platform that they encourage pedophilia,
right?
But they will encourage an approach of rehabilitation. If not, pedophiles who are actively having sexual thoughts about children, what issue is it for you where no explanation, it requires an action? Which one? To me, that's it. To me, that's one of those. It's like, oh, okay, you're having sexual thoughts about children. Don't care why. You have to leave now. Go figure it out in the wilderness.
Yeah, somewhere
You're not allowed around children ever. No. You cannot even go home and get a carry-on. You're out. If not the issue of sexual attraction, admittedly, to children, is there any issue that you're willing to make a decision with finality on without going, not everything requires understanding that perspective. And the thing is, the left loves to apply this retroactively, like, well, Hitler will never let that happen again. Really? Because Hitler didn't run, by the way, on exterminating the Jews. That wouldn't have been like the party of Jew extermination. It ended up being shoehorned in through the kind of identity politics. It's very similar to what you see happening with the left today, right? He used diseases. He blamed them for the economic woes, health. Yep. The point is, he didn't run. So it's easy for you to look back and say, oh, that was terrible. Well, you're able to look back and issue a judgment. But what about here, today, when it's happening now? If not sexually attracted to children, what issue do you say, that's a red line? Because this guy doesn't have it there.
No.
That's everyone should have it somewhere at some point. Okay. We'd also be remiss, and by the way, you guys can update me. Is there anything? There's nothing on Elon? No, we're still waiting. Okay. They're not even talking about it on.
That they
is that Tubin?
It is.
That's
Yay, Tubin.
Okay.
He's talking about.
We live in a society where that guy.
Man.
Yeah.
This is why no one trusts the media. Oh, are you trying to sow? We need to create a bill so you don't sow mistrust in our institutions. Yeah, you know what? No amount of memes or even fake news that I could present online could sow more mistrust than that guy spanking it on a Zoom call and still having a job with the most trusted name in news.
Well, he
couldn't get through a Zoom call and wear pants.
No.
Well, he wanted his own.
He couldn't use a sticky note
show called Tubin.
Well,
so that's what brought the network down.
For crying out. Seriously, this guy's on CNN right now.
Still there.
He's on CNN, and they blame us. It's our fault for sowing mistrust. It's the same thing when you have former Vice President Biden receiving more votes than anyone in the history of ever. And it's like, what? You don't believe that? I don't want to be accused of sowing mistrust, but not really.
No, I masturbate on work calls.
Yeah. What? You're not a legal correspondent? Well, you should just shut up and work harder.
Sounds like hate speech.
It's the sound of one hand slapping. Now, we'd be remiss if we, because we want to do our part, if we let April pass us by without acknowledging STD Awareness Month.
Isn't it STI Awareness Month? I thought it was STI now.
That's what I've heard, but I don't know what the difference. I thought it's
always
I thought it was different, STD and then ST. So a disease versus an infection.
Every time I would go to the doctor, it'd be like, STD, why do you keep coming in?
Oh,
right.
Wear a condom.
Dave. So they never told you STI?
No, they were always like, STD.
So I thought it was, but now they're saying they're interchangeable.
Why are they changing it?
I really don't know. I was looking in, maybe is it getting worse or
Well, what
better?
I thought was, for example, if you have a cold or something and you go in and they'll say, well, it's bacterial and they'll give you an antibiotic, or it's viral and they don't. I thought an STI like infection was maybe bacterial versus the disease state.
Right, because the virus is, you can get a treatment, right? Or the bacterial.
Virus.
Turns out they're completely interchangeable. They've changed it to STI to destigmatize it.
Yeah, because sexually transmitted is the good part.
Yes.
It's the disease and the infection that we want to make sure we don't want to stigmatize.
And I don't know that infection is any more palatable.
It's not. It's not. From what I understand, neither is very palatable. They both end up with a sore throat.
Right. 12 years from now, they're going to change it to sexually transmitted pustule.
Yeah,
that's the new. Sexually transmitted pustule. We don't want to stigmatize it.
No. What if you think about STDs?
You're a dirty boy.
Yes.
Here's your antibiotic.
Yes.
No, I've been very lucky. I can't imagine. I know people who haven't, though.
2020 alone, CDC reported 2.4 million new. That's when they used to say STD. They didn't say STIs. It's like ISIS and ISIL.
That's a lot of cases.
That is a lot of people.
2.4 million.
Wear a scum.
You dirty people.
So, look, we do want to help inform you, and we're going to go to Mug Club here in a little bit. So here to educate us on STD Awareness Month and to educate everyone out there who may not know is Herpo, the STI clown. Hi, Herpo. Thanks for being here, sir.
Hi, kids. I'm Herpo, the STI-riddled clown.
And let's just, by the way, be sure to clean the mic up after. So you're here to share with us some STI facts, correct,
Yes.
Herpo?
I have a ton of venereal diseases, and that makes Herpo a sad clown.
Oh boy.
So like a sad Jerry Lewis clown at a concentration camp.
Yeah, like that movie.
No, more like a hurts when I bathroom sad. And I have lip sores on my mouth, which technically makes it a felony for me to blow balloon animals and hand them to children.
Yeah, that would be felony battery. Wonderful. And that's, I don't know, what is that you have there?
Oh, don't. Oh. Jeez. I thought it was.
I'm glad we get some use out of it.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. So,
Horny.
So you're here to share the facts about STI prevention. That's primarily.
Yeah.
Fact number 1. The best way to prevent an STI, aside from abstinence, right, Gerald, is with a prophylactic. As Herpo always says, don't be a condom and wear a scum bag.
Well, that didn't rhyme even, but okay.
Not slogany at all.
Fact number 2. Genital acne may not indicate a case of STI and may be a simple case of genital pimples.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
What kind of person has genital acne?
Well.
I do.
What? Oh my gosh. What?
Oh, Finnegan, I didn't even know you were here.
Oh geez. Why is he here again?
I'm Ronald's ride. That's his name when he's not Herpo.
Dude, I told you not to use my real name.
Your name's Ronald, like McDonald?
Yeah.
You shut your mouth. That's like the N-word to we clowns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because who could forget hundreds of years of clown slavery?
Yeah.
One more word out of you and I'll spit in your mouth.
Yeah, go ahead. I probably got half of what you got.
Okay, enough. All right, you are both just absolute animals.
Thank you,
The
sir.
two of you. Continue with your facts, Herpo.
Fact number 3. Child rape is an epidemic in Africa, largely due to the entrenched belief that sex with a virgin can cure sexually transmitted diseases such as
No, that's enough.
AIDS.
I've heard enough. You know, Finnegan, get your ride out of here. This is enough. I don't want him in here. Get him, Finnegan. Come on, hurry up. Get him out of here. That's enough. That's enough, Herpo.
Oh, geez.
All right, look.
Oh my God.
Hey,
they're
you
really
do.
wrestling.
It's getting real.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
You're all gonna float down here.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
no one's floating except for this break. YouTube, I wouldn't blame you for banning us for that spectacle. We're gonna go play Hate Symbol or Not. YouTube, piss off.